He was too busy with the Panera.
Yeah, let's hear it.
If your age is on the clock, you got to let me rock. And you can keep that in the podcast.
Hey guys, welcome back to episode 2 of Knights of the Zoom Table. I'm Paul, joined by the usual suspects, Chris, Derek, Brandon, and Henry, with Dylan joining us eventually.
Someday.
Eventually. So today, we're going to be talking about each of our top five TV or movie shows, whatever you want to call them.
Movie shows. That's kind of lame.
So, anyone who wants to go first, whatever.
Who's going first?
But we'll talk.
Yeah,
we'll talk
I'll go
about
first.
it.
I'll go first.
The Office is number one. It doesn't even matter.
All right,
The
let's hear
Office
it,
is
Brandon.
not number one. The Office is not number one.
I've never watched an episode of The Office, so
I'm
not
I'll
gonna-
go with
I'm not-
Office.
Give me a podcast in the fucking car.
I'm not gonna I can't have The Office at number one because it's just not the best.
You guys ever watch SpongeBob?
Brandon, I'm going to be honest. We don't need guests this week.
And we actually don't have guests, Chris.
You niggas ever watch
What's all the
SpongeBob?
side commentary?
I don't think The Office is that good, to be honest with you.
Wait,
Paul's
what was
powering
that?
through. Paul's powering through. He's trying to keep it professional here. We got the peanut gallery in the back up there. Paul, keep it professional. What are your top 5 shows, Paul? I'd love to hear.
I don't know.
I didn't even touch
There he goes.
You know what?
I don't think The Office deserves to be like a top 1 show to me. I mean, yeah, it's funny and but it's just, I don't know. It doesn't do it for me. You know what I mean?
What
Right.
does do it though?
Not a lot of shows can.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I really hold on. For our audio listeners, Brandon just dropped apologies in the group chat.
Do we forgive him?
No, not at all.
No, not yet. Not yet.
I think that The Office has its moments, but not enough for me to call it the best show on earth. You know what I mean? Like Derek, why do you consider The Office the best show?
All right. It was like you all admit it's funny. It is very funny.
Is it?
Not a lot of shows can make it for 9 seasons and not be very good.
Look, The Simpsons made it for 30, and they're not that funny. Family Guy went for a solid 15, 20.
I'm just gonna stop.
Well, now that you mention it,
Hey, Peter.
would you put Family Guy in the top 5 just because of Peter?
I would not. No, I don't think Family Guy's that great.
What do you
Family
put it?
Guy's a
What do you
top
put
5.
it number 1 or 5 or 2, 3, or 4?
Hot
You
take.
know?
All of the Dragon Ball canonicity. Top tier
The
anime.
waiting room.
Are we talking about anime or cartoons or just shows in general?
It's a hot take. I'm sorry.
Off
I'll
to the
mute myself
waiting
again.
room.
There he
Goodbye.
goes.
All right.
And then it was 4.
So, Dylan's been awfully quiet since our intro. Oh, Dylan's here for our audio listeners.
Who did you get? Have you gotten through everyone already?
No,
It's
we're
only
just
been-
we're just making our way around.
All right. So I'd say The Office is probably one of my favorite. I'm not sure. I'd say it's probably 1. Parks and Rec is also pretty good. That's really
I'm
the
gonna
only
be
shows I
honest
leave
with
on
you,
repeat.
I'm trying to right now. I'm racking
Teacher,
my brain.
Teacher, I'm here. Teacher.
Go ahead, Henry.
So I've just had a thought, right? I've been watching a lot of YouTube because I don't have Netflix or anything, right? And there's a lot of shows that people steal it and they put it on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
8-hour long compilation of all the episodes. And one of the best shows that I've watched, just binged, for a couple hours at a time, has been Peppa Pig episode binge watching. And I swear to God, if you put me in the waiting room for that, I'm boycotting
Now hold on a
this
minute. Hold on a
podcast.
minute. You're telling me you watched
I'm a
pirated
damn grown
episodes
man.
of Peppa
And
Pig?
I'm watching Peppa Pig
Jesus Christ.
compilations. I'm Peppa Pig. Bum, 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 bum.
Are they funny?
Yeah, they're funny.
Do you
God
genuinely
damn.
like watch them and laugh?
Well, I half watch it. I put it on, and then it's nice noise. It's good noise for the background when I'm doing work instead.
Is it like a fall asleep type show
Ooh.
where you just sit
I think
there?
you could. I don't fall asleep listening to things, but you could definitely fall asleep to Peppa Pig if you wanted to.
So are you
There's-
saying?
There's so much Peppa Pig on YouTube.
Are you saying Peppa Pig is better than The Office?
I've never watched The Office, so yeah, it sure is.
Well, now hold on. You make a good point because I just want to keep it real. Peppa Pig.
Keep it 100.
Well, Family Guy actually had a Peppa Pig cameo. Did you guys see that?
What we're
And all the
considering
best
this.
shows
What is
that
going
feature
on?
a Family Guy.
So
We're actually considering this.
there. Hold on. Let me
not.
explain the scene. Let me explain the scene. So
Hey Peter, this reminds me of that time Peppa Pig was on Family
We
Guy.
need Tim.
No,
we need
no,
Tim
so-
with his voices.
So hold on. Peter's at his house, right? And Joe comes through the door or something like that, and he's
Joe.
in uniform or whatever.
Oh, Joe.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Joe the police guy.
Joe
And,
the Peppa Pig
and,
character. Yeah.
and Peter's like, Joe, why are you in your uniform? And then Joe goes, I had a tough house call. And it's cuts to him wheeling up the hill to Peppa Pig's house. And he knocks on the door. and like the daddy pig and the mommy pig come out and they're like, yes. And then he's like,
Yes.
do you have a daughter named Peppa? And they're sitting there like, yes. And then he takes off his hat and he's like, you're gonna want to sit down. And to me, that was just hilarious. Like, I'm on the ground laughing.
Because
So
Peppa
the-
Pig's a timeless classic now.
Paul,
at this
Paul,
point.
I think you should go on YouTube right now. We should
Oh,
all
we go
watch
on
that,
YouTube
yeah.
right now when we watch
Can you
it.
screen
Yeah,
record
hold
that?
on,
I don't
hold
care
on.
if we get
Can we not
demonetized.
watch Peppa
If
Pig
we
right
get,
now in
to-
the
if we
middle
get
of a
content
discussion,
claimed, it
guys?
doesn't
We go to
matter.
youtube.com.
No, please, we're
talking
in a
about that.
discussion. Can we not?
All in favor of
I
watching it on
wanna
YouTube,
say-
say aye.
I
There you go.
I think the
Democracy,
cast's all
folks.
there. You've got the main protagonist. You got Peppa, right? A strong lead
Who's
role.
the antagonist?
It's definitely the dad because they fat shame him all the time, obviously. And then
Okay,
you've
hold
got the
on.
annoying little brother. He's the Manny to Greg Heffley.
This is the
You-
Max to Max and Ruby.
All right.
Yes, he
So
is.
hold on. I want to show you guys what I'm talking about here. I want to show you guys the whole thing. So you can see this. You can see this. here?
Yep.
All right.
See
cool.
everything.
So we're gonna watch this whole thing.
This is our podcast now. I can't hear anything.
I have no audio.
Oh,
I'm
you
so
can't hear it?
sorry.
Oh, hold on. Let me see if I
Oh,
can.
hold on.
Just play it through your mic. Just turn on the speakers.
Oh yeah, hold on.
It's just destroy the audio.
Now?
We found Connie an hour ago at a motel outside of town. Turns out she put a pig in a blonde wig behind the wheel of her car. Sorry, her coroner has been pretty sloppy lately. She's been dealing with some substance abuse.
I think this is a different skit.
Interesting.
Hold on,
Anyway,
hold on.
Lois has been cleared of all charges. And what of the pig? That was a very tough house call. Excuse me. You have a daughter named Peppa.
Yes.
You're gonna want to sit down.
I just want to say Paul described that flawlessly. That
It was
was
perfect.
Yeah. That's
I only cared about the funny part at the end.
That's the funny. That's the funny.
That's you got to find the
Funny. So are we gonna watch some Peppa Pig or no?
We could watch
Yeah,
Family
sure,
Guy Fort
reaction.
Balloon Animals. That was on screen right there.
When I tell you, like, the pirated episodes of Family Guy hit kind of different.
Family Guy Funny Moments number 43. That's a classic on YouTube.
So, Derek, you've been awfully quiet about this situation.
What are your thoughts on Peppa Pig? Eric?
I mean, I think this appeals to you because of your low intelligence, because it's supposed
Ye-
to appeal to young
maybe.
children. So
Maybe.
I think it just works out well. Like
Perhaps. I mean, it's no Dora the
Sounds
Explorer.
awfully biased to
No,
me.
this is no cyber chase we're talking about
Fine
here,
now.
but it's some good entertainment.
I mean, it's not Wonder Pets.
It's no Little Einsteins, Derek, but
Oh my goodness! Did you grow
No,
up on
it's
Little
actually
Einsteins?
I was more
coulda.
Well, look at us now. Who would have thought?
It's no super Y, Derek, but it's some good entertainment.
Henry, I'm guessing you were a PBS kid.
I watched my fair share of PBS back in the day.
All right.
brought to you
PBS
by
Kids
viewers like
sort of
you.
rocked. Let's be real.
Look, when they
Did,
thanked
but
you
it
for
was
viewing,
not something I could watch 5 times as much as they did, like Henry did. That's not a.
look,
They
it's
really
not- I
turned
stopped
around
watching
though,
PBS.
and they said, "Thank you for watching our show." Like,
This made possible by a viewer like you. Thank you.
wait, what other network willingly turns
Thanks
around
the
and
viewer.
says, "Thank you for watching"? Like
Because
most other
they
networks just
need the
expect you to
money.
watch.
They
They're
need that
public
money.
broadcasters.
I think on the subject of networks, Cartoon Network has declined substantially.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
I want to say something about
absolutely.
Cartoon Network. Top 5 show, Adventure Time. Easy.
That's I would
Yeah,
put that up there.
I would put
see?
that up there.
That's one of my.
I mean, think of
Oh, it's
all
so-
of, like the great shows that Cartoon Network had it on.
Okay, but here's a question: Adventure Time or regular show?
That's a hard one.
I was
through
personally
and
more of a
through,
fan of
I am a
regular show.
regular show guy.
I would go with regular show.
It's
Wonderful weather we're having.
just
Wonderful
hilarious
weather,
to think
guys.
about. It for our audio listeners, it's currently raining out. It's a typhoon.
Raining cats and dogs, and there's thunder everywhere. You would never believe it.
I
For
feel
our
like
avid
regular
viewers
show
of
are-
Peppa Pig,
Regular show I feel is more relevant to like now than Adventure Time is. Like Adventure Time is just kind of random stuff every episode, but like regular show has stuff you deal with now.
Well, because they had an underlying story, but they
Yeah,
just had a lot of
but-
filler episodes, like every other show.
regular show had it was set in modern times, so it had more modern references, I guess.
It
And
was set in, like the 80s.
yeah, to me that was kind of cool compared to Adventure Time anyway.
Adventure Time was set in the future. What?
Yeah. The
But
mega distant
that would
future.
that be postmodern?
But it's also their own timeline. It's not our own. It's not like
Post-corona.
there's nothing to do with Earth.
Perhaps.
Speaking of which, The Amazing World of Gumball.
Top
It's a
two
good
shows
show.
on Cartoon Network. Gotta be The Amazing World of Gumball.
I would put that like top 10. Not top 5, but very close to.
Solid
Yeah.
6. Solid 6 maybe.
Perhaps I would
I
say.
mean, if we want to talk about good shows from Cartoon Network that are like older, we can get into Code Name Kids Next Door.
What was that, Derek?
Star Wars, The Clone Wars, all the way.
I mean,
Yeah, but that's-
Oh, we got a nerd.
Until it got
Nerd.
to
You're the one
Disney.
watching Peppa Pig.
Look, I'm not a nerd
Peppa
because I
Pig's
watch
cool
Peppa
and
Pig.
Star
I'm a
Wars.
dumbass because I watch Peppa Pig.
It
Telling
can't
what
be
it is.
both.
Yeah, come on.
It's the cold hard truth.
What was on during that time? You had Kids Next Door. You had the Clone
No, Kids
Wars.
Next Door was before Clone Wars.
But they
think it
aired
was
at the same
Clone Wars.
times, really. No? Or am I
No.
thinking of it
Did
differently?
they?
Sometimes.
I watched few episodes of Ed, Ed and Eddie.
I like that show.
That was
That's
a great
funny.
show.
That was
I-
hilarious.
I never
That
watched
is
that
my
much of it.
type of humor. That's like Beavis and Butthead for kids. It's great.
It's Three Stooges, but animated.
Beavis and Butthead. For
It's in my
kids.
head. I never watched. How do you guys watch King of the Hill?
Oh,
I never.
when 9 p.m. hit and Cartoon Network turned off and King of the Hill was the first thing you saw,
And he's just walking across the fence. The nice
And then,
guitar.
you hear the Either you knew it was time for bed, or you would just sit there for 10 minutes wondering what you were watching.
That was a great show.
I think that's what it was all about, really.
I haven't watched King of the Hill in so long.
I was never a King of the Hill guy because once I saw the Adult Swim stuff come on TV, I was like, oh, this is boring.
It's because you're a child and you can't appreciate true art.
Well, now I
Like
watch
Peppa
Rick and
Pig.
Morty, so here we are.
I was watching Rick and Morty like 30 minutes ago.
Rick
you
and
guys-
Morty is a great show.
Back in the day, were you guys more Nickelodeon fans or Cartoon Network
easy.
fans?
I was a Nickelodeon. I mean, I was both, but like, if I had to pick, it'd be Nickelodeon.
I think I'd pick Nickelodeon.
I would have gone with Cartoon Network, I think.
I think for the time, like, I was more into Nickelodeon as a
was funner.
child.
The only reason I like Nickelodeon more is because it has live action and animation. So like,
Oh,
I
wait,
could go from
when's
watching
the-
SpongeBob to iCarly to Drake and Josh.
Right? Yeah.
That was
And
When's the
that's
time
always
frame
the
we're
best.
talking about? You know, late 2000s?
yeah, just
Or
about.
like
I know Drake
early
and Josh
2010s.
probably didn't air at the
Prime.
same time, but
In its prime.
If I had to pick either in their prime, like before Cartoon Network started airing live stuff, that was peak Cartoon Network.
Yeah.
I think
do they
I
have
think-
live
I
stuff
think
on
the
Cartoon
peak
Network? It's
was-
literally called Cartoon Network.
yeah,
Right?
they
Like-
did
Supposed to be
live stuff.
cartoon.
They
What
had
live stuff do they
Destroy,
have?
Build, Destroy. They had that other show with
Oh,
the
that was
kids.
so
oh
funny.
My God.
That
That was a
fun.
classic.
I remember the
think-
ratings tanked, and they were just
Mhm.
sitting there. And then Adventure Time and regular show came out, and that changed everything.
Like that's when it started to get good.
What was the other show that aired alongside Destroy, Build, Destroy?
Was the
Dude,
show.
what would
It was,
happen?
Dude, what would happen?
Oh my goodness, I've forgotten about all of these.
See? Because they sucked.
Oh, they're
Destroy, Build, Destroy did not.
Destroy, Build,
suck.
Destroy was hilarious, though. Like,
It
you had the
was
guy who was
so
like,
fun.
You always
destroy, build,
Boom,
destroy. And, like,
And
they
you
were just
always
blowing
had the
shit up.
group of kids. You always had the group of kids that got together, and one of the kids was an asshole every time.
Yup.
Yep.
They
Yeah.
were
There was
they
the
were
one
the
that
villain
cried every
kid.
time something got destroyed.
Yeah.
Why are you putting so much
Classic.
effort?
Total Drama Island.
Great show.
That
That's
was
a great
Great
show.
show.
The chef dude was so funny.
Chef was
I
hilarious.
didn't watch very
Chris
much of
was
that show.
hilarious.
Actually, if we're gonna talk about chefs, I think I need to bring up another great show, The Amazing.
South Park.
No.
The Amazing
what
World
is
of
it?
Gumball.
Chowder
Yeah,
was
The
fun.
Amazing World of Gumball.
If we're talking about chefs,
If
Chowder
we're
was
talking about
funny.
chefs, Chowder was a classic.
Yeah, Chowder's what I was thinking of. I don't know where Gumball came from. My
Yeah,
bad.
Amazing
It
World
kind
of
of looks
Chowder.
like Gumball.
Scratch that. Can we cut that part out?
Derek,
Nope.
Derek,
Nope.
edit here.
Oh,
Edit
Nope.
here.
send me the video and then I'll cut that and give it
Editor's
back
notes.
to Derek. I'll give it back to Derek.
If
once
you
you
want to
send that
edit the
back to
whole
me.
thing, that'd be fine.
Oh,
Oh, Derek,
fine.
how was your first experience editing the video?
I feel like we had.
Granted, we made him do the longest one.
Yeah.
My first,
Yeah,
that
we
was my
did make
second
him
one,
sift
Paul.
through
Yeah,
an
that
hour
was his
worth
second.
of footage.
He did the one before as well.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, I've done two.
Can you do 3?
Probably, yeah.
Can this be the third one?
Yeah.
Nice.
Can this be the third one? I think the next one will be the third one for me.
No, this is episode 2.
Yeah.
It's always has been.
It's been episode 2 for the last 8
It's all
episodes.
just one like 8-parter.
Episode 2, part 8.
This one's a big one.
What is that, a
What are
college
Opening
pamphlet,
college
Chris?
mail?
I've
Chris,
been
you-
opening college mail for the past 20 minutes.
No, I got something right here.
You know, you see,
That's
all
really
right,
cool,
so
Dylan.
here's the thing. I feel like we've talked about cartoons and TV and nerd shit for too long. It's been like 8 episodes. Let's talk about something that's at least, you know, a little different.
Hold on. Dylan
Let's
just
talk-
pulled out the
let's
same
talk-
flyer that Chris had.
It was
Oh,
the
the
same
Tulane
thing.
one? Don't make
The
me pull that
same
bad boy
one.
out again.
Oh
Let's
my
talk
god.
about,
For me and Dylan rooming at
for
Tulane?
us
What?
seniors, for my boy Paul and I, let's talk about going to college, right? The first thing. And then for you two, little babies in the chat, You know,
That
Chris
makes
and,
Derek
Chris
an
and
infant.
Dylan.
Completely
And
ignoring
Derek,
Derek.
the newborn
Derek's
child.
an infant.
Let's talk about applying to colleges and
Oh,
all
wow.
the fuck you think you could
Oh.
possibly.
Why are you getting
Hey.
college mail already?
Hey.
Oh, Marist. No need to flex.
Little babies growing up out
So
here.
I thought they
think
legally
one of the
couldn't send
biggest
you mail
things,
until your junior year.
the biggest thing that
West Point Pizza.
the biggest thing that perplexed me during the college process was the difference between early decision and action.
Yeah. It
Because
feels like it should be the other way around,
Did you
right?
apply
At the
early
time?
decision?
at the time, like I was like, oh, I'm gonna do early decision for these schools and then early action for this school, and then I was at lunch and Graham turns around and goes, wait, which one's the one that's binding? I forget.
Early decisions binding.
So he's like, wait, you're doing early decision for multiple colleges? And I'm sitting there like, yeah, why not? And he's like,
you can't
those
do
are
that.
binding, you moron.
Yeah.
So like I'm looking through my applications and everything, and like the deadline for early decision was like the day after or the day before, whatever it was, for Marist. And I'm sitting there like, oh my god, I'm gonna go to Marist by accident. So, so I had to like call their admissions team and I'm like, don't put me on that list, whatever. But that was
I know I
Whatever
said
it is you
early
guys
decision,
do,
but
I
no.
don't want
Did
that
you
part
apply
at
early
all.
decision to
Wait.
Auburn?
no, that was one of my regular decision schools because I was like, yeah, there's no way, right? Whatever.
So what schools did you apply to?
I did Auburn, I did Marist, the New Jersey Institute of Technology,
Ew.
St. John's,
NJ.
UNC, and then NC State. Those were my 6. And then I got into all of them except for UNC because I wasn't in state. Because those guys, they'll only let you in if you're from North Carolina. Pretty
Sure.
much,
Goofballs.
yeah. And then
I'm surprised Marist let you in after you called them saying, yeah, if I get
Yeah.
another option,
They-
I'm not going to go with you.
they let me in and then proceeded to give me like a bunch of money for scholarships. And I was like, do I really want to go there? I felt bad.
Yeah, let me just
Right.
drive up the Hudson.
I still
40
feel
minutes.
bad when they like all these schools keep sending me emails and I'm like, I've already like committed to a school. Like the date was a month ago. You don't have
Yeah.
to keep telling me.
What I did, I
Well,
applied to RPI.
wonderful.
RPI was the only school that I applied to, but I did an early decision because I knew it was binding. And if I'm being completely honest, I didn't want to fill out a whole bunch of applications. RPI, I knew RPI was the school I wanted to go to, so I'm like, okay, fuck it, I'll just do early decision, give me the best chance. And I only filled out one application to a college, and I made it.
I mean,
All
whatever
day.
works.
Hey,
You just-
whatever boats my float.
When applying, you got to know like your own situation, right?
Mhm.
You got to know like how, like, because it's a big financial decision,
Mm-hmm.
and then you got to think about like distance and
4-year
whatnot.
paid party, baby.
Are you even gonna like the school?
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Like I'm not gonna be personal about like other people's decisions or anything like that. Like I'm not gonna go to like a party school or something like that. Like I'll go and do this or that. Or like if you know like what major you want to pursue, find like a college that's with your major. I don't know. It's weird like looking back and then like when people ask for advice, you just sit there because you don't know anything. Like,
I still
gotta
don't know
letter.
anything.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So for our juniors, for our junior idiots, what are you guys doing right now as far as college goes, if anything? Because I feel like you guys are doing nothing. Because I was
I
doing
just
nothing.
narrowed down.
I
a
didn't
bunch of
do
my
anything
choices.
until senior year started.
Henry,
I
you
just
also
have, like,
applied to
my
one school.
general list,
Yeah.
and then I kind of kicked some schools off.
So you guys have a list going so far? What schools are on your list, you two little baby boys?
Even I have a list.
Oh,
Let's
chill.
hear
Oh,
it.
you know
Let's
what,
hear
Jared,
the
why don't
list.
you go first since you sound so
Let's
important.
hear the list
Yeah,
from the
let's
nerd.
hear. Let's hear. Yeah, the nerd that
Let's
watches
hear it. Nerd
Star
over here.
Wars. Little idiot.
You guys want to talk about Star Wars again?
Let's bully him. Let's bully him because he watches Star Wars.
I will use the force on you.
Mm-hmm. Here, use the Force to open up a piece of paper that has a list of all the schools you're going to
Choke
apply
you.
to.
Just gonna choke you.
It just looks like you're beating off your webcam. Let's be real.
Yeah.
So Derek, number one, West Virginia,
Number one's
right?
cool.
No.
Oh, come on now.
Number one's gonna have to be Vandy right now.
Bold. You'll never get in. I forgot. I also applied to Vanderbilt and did not get in.
Oh no.
I think it's
Paul,
because I
I
was
will
an
text
idiot.
you in 2 years when I get in.
Yeah, from
When
your
you get
dorm
in.
room in what WVU?
Nah, you're gonna be rooming with Joe McInville.
Right.
that'd be jokes.
In his senior
and his
year,
beard.
dorming.
With his beard.
Why would a senior be dorming with a freshman?
Because they're best friends.
That's just a Joe type thing. Joe, if you're watching, big love, big fan of the
Shout
show.
out to Joe.
We miss you.
Yeah, we do miss
We do
you a
miss him.
lot.
So you've got number
That's on
one,
the show.
Vanderbilt.
So-
To school, Utah. That's a very interesting choice, Derek. What?
Yeah, it's not
Why?
the Mormon one.
Why? Why? Just
Is this
why?
like an in-state tuition
Far away
thing,
from here.
or?
Yes, because we live in Utah. Come get us.
Military can get in state.
Yeah, I figured like you
Nah.
have like 10 different states lined up.
Yep.
Okay.
Charles, you can help me out.
Okay.
Just goes-
Good for you,
Yep.
Derek.
Sure.
Yep.
That's the number
That's
two.
my third state.
State.
My
Jeez.
third state. The third state
Yeah,
I
all in
live in.
different states.
So I own New York and then
Mhm.
Utah.
Ah, yes, the odds of the trade.
So no. What about you there, Dylan? What's your top three?
Probably don't expect it, but West Point Air Force Academy, and then probably I don't know the third. I'm looking at a few different schools like Tulane, Purdue, some like SUNY Binghamton, stuff like that. But
I've been to Tulane. It's very nice. Good food.
Amon got into Purdue. That was funny.
Yeah.
He- So if you do get into Purdue, you can bunk with Amon.
Mhm.
oh boy,
I don't know if you want to though.
No.
It's foul.
Yeah, never count yourself out when applying to the academies. Always like get a jump start on your application. Start when you're actually motivated. For me, like I started in September on like all the application crap, and I was just not motivated because like you're a
You didn't
senior.
apply. You just gave up on the application to West Point. Or
It was like yeah, pretty much.
you just gave up.
I was really lazy. I'm gonna be honest with you, because like you need the nomination, and then you need to get all your medical stuff cleared, and then
You
you
need to
to
throw a
start like,
basketball. You need to run a mile.
You have to
you
do
need
all
to
the
do some
physical
push-ups.
stuff, and then you have to do the actual college application, and it's a lot of work, and you have to really put your mind to it.
it opens up in a few days, and I plan to start pretty much in a few days. So
See, everybody plans to start, and no one ever starts. To be honest with you. Another big tip: if you have the opportunity for like a free application, take it. Like if a college
free
sends
that's
you-
pretty much the
Yeah.
only reason I'm applying to Tulane, because they offer a free application. So
Yeah.
I did that for, I think Marist offered me a free one. Fordham gave me a free one. I forgot about that.
Mhm.
And then Auburn gave me a free one. I was just like, oh, I guess.
Yeah, if you're just gonna throw out free apps, like
especially if you
Take
use the
it.
Common App, like you might as
Yeah.
well. You already have
Yeah,
all
yeah,
the
if you
stuff filled out.
comment, boom, done.
Exactly. And it's just like, yeah, you fill out two things and it already fills in the rest. Applying to college is easy nowadays.
I didn't use the Common App. I
Techno.
used the.
Of
I used
course you
their.
didn't.
No, I didn't. No, of course I didn't.
You
I
applied to
used
one
the
college.
I used the proprietary, like candidate's choice application. That's the one that they gave me. It was for. Oh, they sent me a letter. Oh, we want you
Hunter,
because I sent them an
I have a
email.
question.
Henry, what would have happened had you not gotten in?
That was
I
gonna be
would
my
have had
question.
to. I would have had to complete another application to a bunch of other schools, probably on the Common App, in about 2 weeks.
Wow.
Damn.
I knew I was going to get in
Jeez.
because, yeah.
That's a tough
Wow.
one.
Flawless reasoning.
Okay, but,
So-
I'm efficient with my time and my
On to
resources.
Chris.
Mr. Christophilus, what are your top
so
three?
I had my number one, and then I kicked it off. That was Grand
Nice.
Canyon. So done with that. So over it. Oh yeah, miss moving on over here. And then I think
So
I'm
what's
on
the new
to.
number one?
I don't have a number one yet. I'm just kind of like my jumble of like four.
Okay, what are those?
Iona, UNH. Might have to pull up to New Hampshire. No biggie.
According to YouTube ads that keep popping up when I watch Family Guy funny clips, UNH is one of the top research universities in America. That's my fun
Is
fact
it?
of the day.
I'm pretty sure I've heard at least 5 other schools claim that.
Every school.
Pretty sure my letter from Tulane right there says the same thing.
Yeah, hold on. Let me.
Colin from
Pretty
Marist
sure I
has
could go
it.
digging through the garbage that I was just doing.
Number 1 research school in the nation.
Oh wait,
Marist.
no. Tulane's number 4, the happiest students.
Oh,
Wow.
I think Auburn claims to have the happiest students.
Marist is number
Hold on.
23 in accounting programs.
You know what?
Let me open my welcome thing.
I'm just pulling out the pamphlets.
Yeah.
Well, here's another one of my top choices, even though I'm probably never getting in. My little book from UConn.
That's a good school.
Except I have to be smart or something to get in there. I don't think.
Trust
I am,
me,
so-
you don't have to be smart to get into a college. Those are my wise words.
Look at me, guys.
Look at us.
Look
Who
at
would have
me
thought?
now.
Speaking
I
of,
watched Peppa Pig. I did one application, and I left it to 2 weeks buffer time if I didn't make it in. Look at me. I'm going to college.
speaking of being smart and getting into colleges, have you guys heard about the UCs dropping SATs in the coming years? And what
I
are
don't
your
think
A
any of us
lot
are
of
going
schools
to a
are doing
UC.
that.
Yeah.
A lot of
They're
schools are
not
doing
not
that.
only doing it because of COVID, like they're completely cutting it.
Yeah, the
But
UC
in a few
system's
years.
just so like over it.
They claim it's discriminatory based on socioeconomic factors.
What's funny is they're making their own test, and it's gonna be
Trade
It's
one
cost
villain
money.
for another.
such turncoats.
Speaking of which, I despise.
Speaking of turncoats.
Right? Yeah. Speaking of British people, no,
Listen to the
I
redcoats, not the
despise.
turncoats.
I despise the College Board. How are you gonna make me take my test that I have to submit to colleges,
Mhm.
charge me to send my score, and then charge me to take the test anyway? What
Right.
who invented this? Like, this has got to be like the greatest scheme of all time.
Now more than ever.
they
this
actually
year
have a
more than
lawsuit
anything.
against them this year.
They have like 5 lawsuits against them that came up in the past month.
Yeah,
You tell Dylan.
Good for them.
they are being sued for, I'm pretty sure, the problems with AP test this year. Hold
Mhm.
on.
Which problems? There's a few that happened.
We've all experienced some problems.
I mean, I think there was one that was
Everyone's
like,
practicing their skills for the number 1 research college in the country.
Papa.
I'm
Gotta go to
pretty sure
Tulane.
one of them is about because people don't have good testing situations, so it's like unfair circumstances.
Yeah.
So it
Yeah,
could be people like overseas taking tests at 3 a.m. Like,
that's
That's
what a
not
lot
cool,
of
bro.
schools will do. Like, a lot of schools are doing now for online finals and stuff like that. Like, if you went to school in the Pacific region, you would be taking your tests 4 hours later,
Mm-hmm.
like because you're here, that kind of thing.
yeah, but I don't get why you have to do that. Like my brother with some of his finals, they were just like, okay, as soon as you open it, you have 45 minutes to do it, and like you have 2 weeks to do it though.
Usually, it depends on the professor. You know what I mean? Like
How
most,
stupid the
yeah, how stupid your
how
professors are.
annoying they are.
Because a lot of them are like, "This is my rules. I've lived here, and that's just time.
That's time. Time works in a certain way.
That's what it is.
I must work the same everywhere." That's another thing. How can you be an expert in a subject that you teach at a collegiate institution, but not understand basic time zones?
How could you be college bored and make kids take a test at 2 a.m.?
That's what I'm
I
saying.
cannot imagine doing that. That would be terrible. Especially imagine you wake up at 2 a.m. to do it, and then your test bugs out and just doesn't submit.
Well,
I
see,
would no longer
now-
have
Yeah, you
to.
see,
stay up from 2 to
now-
3 just for your test to not work.
College Board
my
was so
computer would be
gracious. After a week of kids saying, "Hey, Mike got my test bugged out. I can't, hand in my answers." They put out some like statements like, "Now we're accepting you emailing your answers to College Board within 10 minutes of the test ending, in case
Yeah,
something goes
That
wrong."
should have been in the beginning. Because what about all those kids who got screwed over? Like,
I had a little bit of an oopsie with the AP Chem exam. So I did the whole exam, and at the end it told me it didn't receive my submissions. So I have to take a makeup exam. The next
Do you,
week,
though?
they put out the statement that you could email the exams, and the frequently asked questions section asks, "What about, tests taken, blah, 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 blah." The day that I took my test, they're like, "Unfortunately, you still have to, schedule a makeup exam." So
So tough.
Are you gonna
June
retake it, though?
2nd, yeah, June
College
2nd
Board.
at 4 p.m. I'm going to be taking the AP Chemistry exam
honestly,
again.
had my APUS Rip Derek.
Oh,
Had my
okay.
APUS test not submitted, I just wouldn't retake it because
Where'd
Miss
he
Brady
go?
said she'd give you the credit. So like she'd give you the weight. So that's the only reason I'm taking the class.
Yeah.
I don't care about the credit.
Yeah,
My
honestly,
thing
if
is
I-
like, for most classes, even if you get the credit, most of the time you won't use it. You know what I mean? Like say if I took
yeah,
AP
what
Calc and I got a
college is
5,
like-
I wouldn't do it just because like I would retake Calc 101 anyway.
Yeah.
Right.
Because it'll be easy for me. That kind of
I don't
thing.
know how it works at Auburn, but RPI only accepts 5s on the exam.
Oh,
If you,
damn.
yeah.
Ours is
so-
like a sliding scale where it's like if you got a 2 or a 1, you're kind of screwed. But like if you got a 3, 4, or 5, they give you a certain amount of credit hours.
Mhm.
But for some
it's supposed to be
exams,
3,
like
so
for some exams, they'll give like more credit hours than others. So like if you got a 5 on AP Bio, you get 9 credit hours
Mhm.
versus like a 4, which gives you 8 credit hours. It's something stupid, but it's like,
Yeah.
why can't
I
you
am
just
something stupid.
standardize it across the board?
Especially this year where they said they'll still give you credits for doing the AP exam. Like I wouldn't I'd retake the course because I haven't learned the entire course.
You didn't learn like the last.
But like, why
quarter of
do
the
that
year.
when you could just go on Crash Course on YouTube and just call it a day?
And then it
Well,
costs
for-
me money to send
It's
my
more
scores.
For
Yeah.
history,
What
yeah,
am I
but for
doing?
something like calculus, I couldn't just
Yeah,
BS that.
yeah. But like with history, like what college is gonna care that I passed the AP US history exam? Who's really gonna care when I want my
Right.
business degree?
You're a history major.
I think you missed the part where I said the business degree.
Yeah, you're.
A lot of
everyone's
your
cutting out.
economics
Wi-Fi's
classes
terrible
will
right
be
now.
based on history too.
Hey, if you want to be a bartender, you
true.
got to know the temperance movement. Come on.
That's very true.
You have to know
There
that
you
the
go.
Peace of Westphalia was in 1648 if you want to, wait
48,
tables.
big year, big year. Anything with a 48, big year.
Mm-hmm.
16, 48. You had all those revolutions, right?
Did
Was
I
that
miss a
8?
revolution in 2016?
1748.
'Cause I know some happened in 1848, if I remember right.
Did it?
I don't know.
There's a few things that happened. There's like 365 chances for it too.
If Mr. Coin taught me anything,
It's that years that ended 48.
It doesn't look like
Shit
anything really
went
happened
down.
in 1848.
Oh, okay. A fact checker.
Well,
told
there were
me.
revolutions, but they don't really seem like that
Ah.
important of revolutions.
The
Count it.
Napoleonic Wars.
Give me a high five, Paul.
oh, up top.
You can't
Yeah.
say a war
All
happened
right.
in 1848 when it was kind of
The
like
California Gold Rush begins.
M1.
Mexican-American War and the Treaty of Guadalupe Hidalgo is signed.
You're forgetting that's
Oh,
America.
dear.
important. No one cares about America.
We're
the
talking about
Seneca Falls
European
Convention.
history.
Use that one in
Oh,
April.
Derek. How was the AP Euro?
Did
Oh,
you take that? How'd that
Let
go?
me tell you.
oh, look at him.
Derek, what was your prompt?
My prompt was whether or not the Enlightenment was a radical or subtle change in Europe.
So the
It's
AP
radical.
exam for
Radical.
history,
Yeah,
I had to
isn't it?
take a history AP exam during the Rona. Is it one question and you have to write
It's
an essay
one
about
It's
it?
DBQ.
That's it.
Yikes.
One. No second chances. So if you get a prompt that you're not good at, it's over.
At least you didn't get
Like-
Napoleon.
See, for the A push exam,
My dad, he did his thesis on Napoleon. I would have loved to have Napoleon.
for the A push exam last year, I thought that I killed the multiple choice and that I did okay on the DBQ. So when it came to the long essay question, where you just have to write about stuff you know,
Which
I
one
wrote
was that?
an intro paragraph and I gave up.
What
So I
question
didn't
was
finish
that? I'm trying to remember.
I don't even remember.
You see,
It was-
the
I
multiple
think it
choice
was,
is what was going to save me.
I think it was
how
about.
did I think it was America or something.
Really?
It was like
On the
America.
You don't say.
Dude, do you think I know what
I
I'm
think
talking
it talked about
It
like.
was,
Oh shit! I forget.
was it? It was.
Had
well, I
to be
think it was-
Lyndon Johnson.
It was one of the you were able to choose. I think I
Yeah.
chose one of the things was how did America's place on the world stage change after I think World War II?
Yeah. It was about like I picked the modern one,
So
And
then
then-
America, guys.
and then like the day after, we're all sitting in A push, and Amy's like, "So why didn't you guys pick the Civil War one?" And I'm just sitting there like, and she solved out the question in 2 minutes, and I was sitting there like, "Wow, you're really gonna do that?"
That's why I gave up
Yeah,
after an intro
it's like
and,
she's the
and a
teacher
couple
or something.
sentences.
It's like
that's
she
why
gets
I'm
paid
not
to know
asking
it.
her to give me feedback on mine because she got all of them back so she can check over plagiarism and
Mhm.
stuff. I'm not
I'm
going to
not-
ask her
I'm not
about mine
asking
because I'm
anything.
scared.
She's probably just gonna call you a moron.
Did I plagiarize?
Chris, your thesis sucks. Like,
You can't be this dumb, right, Dylan?
Oh, I have something in my thesis that I never mentioned again. Like,
So you got the point that was it.
I still have the Google Doc of mine, and like I'm still.
I know.
scared
I
to, like,
read. I
open it
read
back
mine the
up.
next day, and I was like, I feel like an idiot.
at the
I was
end,
so proud of it, and then I was like, man, I feel like a freaking idiot.
at the end, I just had 2 different paragraphs of describing the document with no connection to my argument. It was just trying to get those extra points. Like,
So
Yeah, I've
Derek,
just been
what,
scared
what
to
did
open
you
my doc up.
what did
I'm
you
gonna
end up
delete it.
writing about? What was it?
Oh, the
What were you-
enlightenment.
what was your
Learning
thing about?
enlightenment was radical and subtle change. Let's go. I'm gonna open it right now.
No.
All right,
just
all right.
read it
Oh
aloud.
god, I'm gonna have to
Wait,
read.
wait.
Oh,
Read
looks
a
like we're running
sentence.
short on
So-
time.
I'm not
Uh-oh.
sure if reading it aloud violates College Board's rules, does it?
No, it's not.
Yeah.
You're allowed to do whatever you want. It's my
It's-
work, is it not?
I mean, that's like saying, oh, I can post a picture of it during the test because it's my work.
Are we in the test right now?
No, but
This is
you
a
know
testing
how
environment.
stupid their rules
Test.
are.
Come tune in for part 2 when we read Derek's essay.
What's up, guys? What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of episode 2, Knights of the Zoom
Welcome
Table.
back. What are you saying? Welcome back. It's the outro.
This has been Knights of the Zoom Table.
Yeah.
Here with Paul, Henry, Dylan, Chris, and Derek. Make sure
Don't forget
you
to
hit
smash that
bell,
like button, hit bell with
obliterate the
notifications
subscribe
on,
button.
and comment what your favorite flavor of ice cream is. Thanks.
If you want to be a guest, make sure you view the video up until this point.
And then
Special-
comment Butterbean under the video if you want to be a guest.
Yes,
And your
best.
favorite flavor of ice
Comment
cream.
down your
What if the
favorite flavor of ice
is
cream
Butterbean.
and the word butterbean. That's
Write it twice.
BUTTERBEEN. Butterbean. Thank you
B-E-N?
guys,
The boxer.
and have a great night.